Who'd have thought that Logan Paul and CryptoZoo would still be in the headlines and making news right now? There's a lawyer on YouTube called Attorney Tom that posted a video talking about how he is suing Logan Paul over this CryptoZoo stuff. And the things in CryptoZoo's terms of service and how they tried to structure these things is pretty interesting because it seemed like maybe they had a little bit of an idea of what they were doing.
After weeks of investigation and speaking to a significant number of CryptoZoo victims, we've taken legal action against CryptoZoo Incorporated, Logan Paul, Daniel Strobel, Jeff Levin, Eddie Ibanez, and Jake Greenbaum.
So there you go. They are suing all of these different people associated with CryptoZoo, and these are the allegations that they're trying to put out there, saying they have fraud, express breach of contract, implied breach of contract, unjust enrichment, violation of Delaware's prohibited trade practices, negligence, fraudulent misrepresentation, and conspiracy to commit fraud. So there's quite a bit there, a lot of allegations there, and a lot of them, really make sense if you've been following this whole thing. But it does get pretty interesting when you start to look into the terms of service behind CryptoZoo, the thing that nobody reads anywhere. We just click accept and move on with our day, but they put things in there to kind of protect themselves from legal problems.
The reason why I'm telling you this is because based on our information and belief, the CryptoZoo terms and conditions have two major clauses that affect a victim's ability to pursue legal action. The first is an arbitration clause. The second is a class action waiver.
So there's a couple of things there, right? Two pretty big things trying to prevent people from taking legal action over CryptoZoo. Almost as if they were planning for this because this wasn't a great intended project from the very beginning and was a group of criminals hired together to create this thing. I just think it's pretty interesting to see the steps taken in place. You kind of see the behind the scenes. We already saw with CoffeeZilla's series that they had a bunch of group chats with market manipulation saying, we'll sell at this market cap, sell this much, don't impact the market this much. And now we see even deeper into the project that the terms of service even tried to prevent people from doing anything. But he does go on to say that just because it's in this TOS doesn't necessarily mean that it's enforceable, which I think is a normal thing. A lot of people, or a lot of things get thrown away or not enforceable for a multitude of different reasons, but maybe there's a way that this isn't enforceable, because I think it'd be such a headache to have to deal with everything individually with the scale that Logan Paul has. He literally has 20 million subscribers on his main YouTube channel and millions of followers across every other social media platform.
Put something in their terms and conditions, that term or condition is automatically enforceable. In fact, I think there are quite a few terms and conditions present in the CryptoZoo agreement that I believe are unenforceable. And on top of that, I think that these terms and conditions as a whole might be unenforceable for a certain class of people.
So maybe this turns out to be not enforceable and they can go through with a class action lawsuit, because doing things at the scale of like Logan Paul individually would take forever, and I think it'd just be super inefficient. So who knows? But that does seem to be what Attorney Tom is doing here, representing anyone who lost $100 to hundreds of thousands of dollars, and not trying to, obviously only represent the rich people or the people who lost the most amount of money. He's doing it for everybody.
At the time of releasing this video, my team and I currently represent victims from all over the world, ranging from consumers who lost a couple $100 to over $100,000. Additionally, we have officially filed our first arbitration action, and we anticipate many more arbitrations will be opened up in the near future.
So I think this guy's doing a pretty good thing, obviously representing everybody who lost anywhere from hundreds to hundreds of thousands, because depending on your situation, losing a few $100 could feel like you lost a few $100,000. And I'm sure we all remember the 3-step plan that Logan put out on a Twitter video in his second channel, that he was going to make everything right and do all these things with a 3-step plan. But there's a lot of holes in that 3-step plan that Attorney Tom goes over that, not a lot of people actually thought about in the time when that video came out.
Logan's 3-step proposal. First is the refund only accounts for people who have base NFTs and base animals. It says nothing about individuals who have Zoo token or hybrid animals. The second issue that I want to take note of is there are a lot of people who had the Zoo NFTs, the eggs, that then sold because the product was a complete bust. There is no form of compensation for them laid out in Logan Paul's 3-part plan. And the last thing I want to take note of is the refund is not equivalent to what they bought their eggs for. At the time the CryptoZoo mint went public, 0.1 ETH was worth roughly
$350.
give or take. Now, 0.1 ETH is worth $150.
Those are some pretty important points. When you look at Logan Paul's apology video for the third time and his 3-step plan that he laid out, it sounded good. But in reality, he knew that it sounded good, but he didn't really have to do anything. Because the big one, obviously, saying we'll return the mint price for a certain select few people that is actually the minority of people. So the vast majority of people involved in CryptoZoo are not eligible for this refund. And on top of that, you're comparing ETH to ETH. So you're doing 0.1 ETH to 0.1 ETH, and it sounded good, but Logan Paul ignored the dollar amount because then it wouldn't sound as good. If you would have said, you paid $350 for this JPEG, I'll give you $150 back for it, that doesn't sound as good. That doesn't sound like you're getting a refund or you're getting repaid. It sounds like you're getting ripped off. And to make it even worse, the main point of this game, the main point of everything, is this thing is built on CryptoZoo token, and if you had put your money in CryptoZoo, you'd have basically lost it all if you haven't sold it already, and he's not caring about you at all. He's trying to push that off, saying, well, that's not an investment. That was for the game. It was the way you're supposed to make passive income and make money with this game, but it's not an investment. What are you, crazy? And the more you kind of dig into this and see how Logan reacted on the Discord, you see that his response is insanely disingenuous. His third response, his 3-step plan, his refunds for some small percent of people instead of actually getting people done right, is all disingenuous. And the Discord messages really prove that. You can see here, there's somebody in the Discord saying, what will happen to people who sold everything at a loss? You know, saying people who abandoned the project because Logan, you abandoned it. And Logan Paul responds saying, just current owners. So that pushes aside a ton of people who could have been eligible for this refund thing, who now all of a sudden aren't, because Logan knows what he's doing. He knows that the vast majority of people already sold, and he can save face and look good and not actually have to do anything. And you can even see Logan's response to this, something like trying to agree with this statement, saying, if you sell, you lose. Common investing knowledge. It's common. You know, all the other scam artists who sell you a course, they got a course to sell you, will say, you don't lose until you sell. You down 99%? As long as you don't sell, you haven't lost anything. And Logan puts an arrow saying, like, agreeing with this, like, yep, this is just common knowledge. It's not. Logan, you made this project. You pushed it. You promoted it. You created it. You hired everyone. You put the gang of criminals together to push this whole thing. It's on you. People didn't lose because it went down in value, like Bitcoin. If people bought Bitcoin at 69K and went down in value, it went down in value. There's no one controlling Bitcoin. But CryptoZoo, people lost because you abandoned it. And then there was another message that Logan said, you know, don't put any more money in CryptoZoo. And this is people saying, when you say don't put any more money in CryptoZoo, what are you trying to say? And this person saying, he's probably saying, I'm sick of you guys blaming your investment decisions on me, so I'm putting it in writing. Don't buy anymore, but that's just my guess. You can see the response from Logan is right here. He actually says he agrees with this person, saying he's so sick of it. But if you're saying that CryptoZoo wasn't an investment, it was a token for the game to be built on, but then you agree with this guy saying you're blaming them for making investment decisions, that contradicts itself. How is it not an investment, but it's an investment decision? That's not possible. You can't make an investment decision on something that's not an investment. That's not how it works. And then he went on to cry even more, saying, you know, I will no longer be the scapegoat for anyone's financial decisions. Logan, you're not the victim here. You made the victims. You promoted this. You put together the gang of criminals to run this entire project. That was you. You ran this entire project. You started it. That was you. You promoted this entire project. That was you. You compared it to Pokemon, saying it's going to be the next Pokemon. And it's an insanely fun game that can make you money. That's you. You are not a victim. Nobody feels bad for Logan Paul, the insane multimillionaire. No one's feeling bad for you. You did this to yourself. You created this entire problem. You're still a multimillionaire. You still have so much money, it's unimaginable. And yet you want people to feel bad for you because you have to deal with the consequences of your own actions. And you can see this is where he exactly talks about CryptoZoo not being an investment, which is just the dumbest thing in the world. But he's saying, talking to someone else in here, saying about not putting any more money in. Saying, I believe there's been a misconception here as outlined in the white paper. Zoo was created to support CryptoZoo and was not intended to be an investment vehicle. That's so dumb. The entire point of your little game was to make CryptoZoo tokens so that you could make passive income. That was the entire point of it. So if it's not an investment vehicle, that would mean there's no market for it. And if there's no market for it, there's no value for it, which means there's no passive income that you promoted and ran this entire thing on. And I think we got a very good look into Logan's actual feelings about this, because his video, his third response, the first two didn't work, his legal threats and the internet turning against him, he realized, wow, that was the bad move. Put out the third one, and you can see just how fake it is because of all the Discord messages he put out there talking about it's not my fault. I'm a victim here. It's so sad to be Logan Paul. So it's a good thing Attorney Tom is here taking this to legal action and actually doing something and representing anyone and everybody. I think that's a good thing. And Logan should be held accountable because he's just desperately trying to do the absolute bare minimum so that he doesn't get into any legal trouble. And he absolutely should. He put the gang together. He pushed his entire project. And it's him and his brand at the end of the day. That's going to do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video.